you who don't know,
That's the sound of a garbage truck in reverse.
you
Soundstage.
let's give it to the garbage men, though, who are just throwing away our trash.
Doing a great job. A lot of people are doing a lot of great things right now.
Post office workers.
People making food, local businesses, support your local businesses.
So, for those of you who don't know, Yogi and I created... Should we just wait until the garbage is done?
Sure. Let's take a look.
It's just really loud.
Hi.
Oh, hi!
Hello. Good to see you.
I'm Ravi.
And I'm Yogi.
And
His
we
big
are...
brother.
Okay, how much older do you think he is than me?
Or how much younger do you think I am than him?
Just because you're clean shaven and you're not wearing a tank top.
Or an ascot.
Okay, I love the ascots and I love the bandanas and I switch. I do a switch back and forth.
It's true.
Daytime is ascot, nighttime is bandana. You don't want to get that tan line on.
That's right. And it's about them today. It's about all of you today. We're happy to bring you a new show
Called Two
Bros.
No Trip.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Ravi is here, thankfully, not in New York City. And we're wishing everyone in New York absolutely the best. All of you at your home, hopefully you are at home, the absolute best. And we know that we've been on our trips. You've enjoyed the commentary from Ravi and I.
The commentary's Two Bros, One Trip. And that's the series that we've been trying to, push out to network. Pitch, and we're at a time where nothing's happening, so we might as well do Two Bros, No Trip. Jane, so I just stuttered. So we might as well do Two Bros, No Trip.
And that's what we're doing right now. Bring your little longer version of content to your mobile devices.
Where we just sit down and we have a conversation. On a couch, outside, in freezing weather. When it's shady.
Because you want good light. Is what I've learned.
I'm teaching the little intricacies right now, like IGTV and the cover photos.
And I appreciate that.
And he's teaching me about college football.
Am I?
Yeah. We got Ted Robinson. We got what was the guy's name? Lusaka Palai.
3-time captain of Pitt. Check it
And
out.
he was in the Super Bowl.
He was. It's New England Patriots.
Pats.
Yep.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, there it is. Same
I
thing.
listen.
Good.
Sometime. So how are you?
So what explain what's happening here to the viewers.
Well, we want to just give a slice of life of who we are in each episode and talk about where we are. I think that we're in a really interesting time. Every episode we're going to delve a little into a travel story, an element of travel, so we can take you vicariously on our trip. But today it's really just going to be setting it up. Like, I'm out here in Los Angeles. Everything that I completely do in life has been canceled or halted. So I am in this new world of what the hell am I doing with my life, which I think a lot of us can relate to. We're all unemployed, we're all sitting at home, we're all watching Instagram Live workout videos and just figuring out, what are we doing? And, Yogi, a long time ago, taught me about the space between. And I think we should talk about that today.
Okay, go ahead.
So why don't you, since you're the one that taught me the space between, why don't you tell our friends what that is?
Sure. Well, I learned of that phrase years ago from a mentor of mine, Coach Carroll, Seahawks head coach, Go Hawks.
Pete Carroll.
And he talked about how sometimes when you play the piano, you hit a note, and you hear that note, and then you hear the next note that you so ding, ding. But there's a space between the first one and the second one that's really the magic. And sometimes on a note, on a piano or a guitar, you hit one note, and you just let it go and go and go and go and go. And that space right there where you're just kind of hanging can be beautiful. And it's like if you stare at a piece of art and you just get lost in it before going to the next piece of art. Or you're staring at the ocean and there's one wave and you track it all the way down the line before going to the next wave. There's beauty in that space. So years ago, about a decade ago, I shared that with Ravi about just trying to enjoy the space between. So in between flights for him, because he's always on the move, as you know, or for me, spring football got canceled on the Pac-12 network, so I'm landlocked to just where I am right now here in Los Angeles, and it's just got to enjoy it.
And
Yeah.
how are you doing with your space between? How are you doing with the season getting canceled? And he's also become a stay-at-home teacher.
Sure, I have. Yeah, preschool every day, 11 a.m. science class. Take your recommendations. I mean, I think you have to look at it with a grain of salt. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal that spring football is canceled among 12 schools or among 300 schools all across the country because of coronavirus and what's going on with that. Personally, you're bummed because you love the craft. I love going to campus and talking to kids and broadcasting games and being live for a couple hours on television. But you find other ways to get creative, which we've done with our podcast or this show. So I'm okay with it. It's totally different, but I'm trying to compete to enjoy that space between. And I think you have to work different muscles to enjoy that even more. Like, not get frustrated if you hear the reverse lights from the garbage truck coming.
How many garbage trucks are there, though?
Or whatever it may be. So meditation, I try to work out once or twice a day. Obviously, with our son, we're trying to make it really fun, interactive. He's only 5, so the goal is not to teach arithmetic. The goal is to make him enjoy learning. So how can we do that? Not being, at least certified educators. So you do your work, and then most importantly, I've learned to shut it down. So when it's dinner time with the family, I don't go back to my computer at night and work till 11 like I would in the season or in spring football. I hang out with you and my wife, and we'll watch a movie or we'll talk all night. So I've been getting 8-9 hours of sleep for the most part. So how I've been dealing with it, I mean, I think you, first and foremost, you take care of your circle. You have an eye on the big one, of course, because you can't not hear all the noise. But as our parents like to say, and I agree with, be fearless but not reckless. Don't buy into the fear machine and let it eat you up, because there's so much news. There's tragic stories happening all over the world. An infant died in Illinois, and we have a young child and a growing family. So definitely scared about that, but you can't go there. So yeah, there's definite mindfulness that goes into right now going on no trips.
And for me, to wait, you have to wait for the car to pass so that you get your airtime. For me, I constantly live in that space between as an actor and as a travel vlogger. I'm constantly between jobs or on a job. So right now, there's the prospect of 0 of those things happening. No trips, no shows. And what I've really been doing is working on my spiritual self. There's a garbage truck, so I'm going to try to be really kind right now.
Thank you to all of them doing the work.
Yeah. My spiritual self. See, I didn't curse at them. But I've been running every day.
He has.
5+
miles.
Yeah, and I'm really gonna get in the best shape of my life. So when this is done, there'll be no excuses for why I'm not booking that motherfucking shit.
You curse on the show now.
I mean, I just felt like that was added drama that I needed to say.
Right.
And just to feel the best possible physical self. So whereas I'm not as super creative right now, I mean, we're making our 2 Bros 1 Trip show into a 2 Bros No Trip show, so that's creative. But I'm really just taking this time to focus on myself, to be Mrs. Doubtfire for their 5-year-old child, who I share a room with, which is a big change. And just to enjoy this LA weather. I'm wearing a tank top. It's not that warm, but it's gonna get warmer.
Cool.
So we want to hear from you. How do you guys deal with the space between right now during COVID-19? The space between and COVID-19. COVID-19 and the space between.
Just let the note continue. But I like it. It's a good song.
Leave a little comment right
Let us
there. Give a little subscribe. Comment. Like it. Share it. Let us
Rate
know
it.
what you want us to talk about.
And regardless of that, we'll continue to talk, because that's what we both know how to do. Some
sure
might
do.
debate whether it's well or not well, but we can do that a lot. And we'll also share with
it's
you
well.
tips on places we've gone. I know as a traveler, I'm always looking for new content. What kind of bag are you using? How do you travel? How do you book stuff? Where are you staying? What experiences were fun? What did you enjoy from? So I know the story I'm going to tell in the next episode from a really fun trip. One of my early trips in my career. I was in Santiago de Chile, and I'll share that one as a little tease for the next
Oh,
one.
a little teaser. And you know what? I don't know what story I'm gonna tell, but it's gonna be a good one. So until then, do you want to do the little thing I taught you? You know how like an episode ends and you do that thing?
What was that again?
Do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And on that note, bye.
Oh.
No, Yogi.
To the sound.
No, you do the thing where you do towards the.
Oh. Bye.
No.
Like that. Oh. Cover it.
Influencer.